10, the 253rd day of 2025. There are 112 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Apple made some big news yesterday with some new tech gear that might be coming to your life. And we will also talk about Mom's car and things you find in it. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I've been busy.
You have been busy. Since you've been crashing around in the kitchen early this morning, you have been busy, but breakfast was good, thank you.
You're welcome.
You might think that phonophobia is the fear of phones, but it is the abnormal, unwarranted fear of sound. Mm-hmm. So you don't have phonophobia,
No.
but you are afraid of sounds you don't like or that annoy you.
Afraid?
Afraid of lashing
Angered?
out at someone.
Well, no,
Afraid of
that
losing
could
your
be-
temper.
That could be said.
Afraid of coming across the table at a pin clicker.
Maybe.
Would that be one you don't like? Yeah, I can see where. Yeah, phonophobia is just about sounds. Afraid of sounds that you don't want. Misophonia, that's completely different.
It's a different story.
That's right. Over there in chair number 3, we say good morning and welcome back. She is Grayson County Extension Services Ag Agent. She is Miss Whitney Carmen. Morning.
Morning.
Welcome back.
Glad to be here.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I happen to notice that you seem to be walking a little lighter, as if you might even be levitating this morning.
Maybe.
Because a big weight has been lifted off of your shoulders after a big event last night.
Yeah, Farm to Table went off without a hitch. Thanks to everyone that attended and our sponsors and my support staff at work. They were great. Great event.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It said, looked like it went off without a hitch, that it all came together. And I mean, weather-wise,
I couldn't have asked for better weather.
Low humidity. Well, there you go. There's your crowd gathered right there. And the sun, the angles of the sun at this time of year are interesting too. They're completely different, like in the summer. And you remove the humidity, and so you get kind of the radiance of there's you and your team.
Yeah.
Of course, there's Mr. Agriculture himself, right?
Yes.
We've got Mr. Spirit and Mr. Agriculture in our community.
We do. We're blessed for that.
And
yes.
then there you are offering.
I love the green.
And I love the way that you dressed up the Jack Thomas house too.
Yeah, we did. We decided to use that as a backdrop because why? It's a historical building. It's beautiful, and it helped with the. Like the sun, it goes down at a certain angle in the street. And so we turned everybody this year, and I think that it worked out pretty well. So we were thankful.
It looked golden.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the way that the sun was angling and then your color choices that you made, it looked very fall-ish, and we'll be to fall before very long. We are going to see sunny and warmer, though, to end the week. We'll see sunshine and highs in the 80s today. We'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s to end the work week. We'll see a high near 90 over the weekend. We're monitoring some rain chances. Highs jump to near 90 over the weekend. Saturday looks mainly dry, but Sunday maybe a cold front approaches and might get a rain shower or two. But mostly sunny, a high of 86 today. Mostly clear, 63 tonight. Mostly sunny and a high of 88. So when you get the farm to table in the rear view mirror and you're able to kind of bask in the success of that, and what a great event. By the way, everybody, like to a person, everyone that I noticed this morning was just raving about what a great event it was. So it was not only thought so by the people hosting it, it was thought so by the people who attended it as well. But once you get by that, now where do you refocus? Like, where do your energies go, or what programs are you working on in the coming days and weeks?
We actually, no rest for the weary, right? So we're jumping right into fall meeting season. Got several beef quality assurance programs next week. I've got some other beef programming, forage programming going on. Those will be, check our Facebook pages and our websites, and newsletter bulletins will have all that information out. But we hit the ground running. It never stops there at the office. And then I do know we're finishing up farmers market season, so that's going to be coming soon. And then going to be working on just going to be in the schools quite a bit with Miss Kendra and the 4-H program. We're doing some ag literacy programs with them. So I'll be at school too.
Is this a time of year that the farmers market in the few remaining weeks to kind of shift gears on the products? Are we going to see
Yeah.
more pumpkins and gourds and
Yes,
things like that?
pumpkins, gourds, fall flowers. Still got quite a few baked goods out there, folks doing that. So yeah, you're going to see a little bit of a shift to that.
And in the agriculture community, I suppose, I've not seen corn start coming in yet, but things are really going to be,
Yeah.
I mean, things are getting ready to kick into high gear
Yes.
with machinery on the roads, moving
Yes.
around for the harvest, et cetera. So
It has started in parts of the county. In fact,
It
I'm
has?
going to measure a plot here this morning after radio, and so they are out moving. So please be cognizant of that. There are still folks still putting up hay, so you're going to see those implements on the road too. But our combines are as big as the county road, so just please
yeah.
be careful. I know everybody gets in a hurry, and I even do so myself sometimes. I'm like, man, come on, just pull over, pull over. But I do think that we need to, as patrons, and that's their job. And yes, it's heavy equipment, and yes, they're moving and they're slow, but please just be cognizant of it and aware, and don't give them a nice way when you drive by. Not
just
the,
not the Bronx salute.
Not the
Give them
Bronx salute.
the full handed wave.
Yes.
And here's, I guess, what we should do. It would be a good thing is when you encounter this machinery, just ask yourself, do I like to eat?
yeah.
And if you answer the question that you do like to eat, then this is part of the process that has to happen in order for you to eat. Even if you just like to eat ho-hos and ding-dongs, there are
That's part of
materials
it.
that are being harvested that go into that at some
Yeah.
level. Maybe not a whole lot of them.
And these guys too, they're, guys and gals that are farming, it makes them uncomfortable being on the road too. So, I mean, we need to work together to try to make sure that they are, that everybody is safe and everybody gets to their final destination.
They are not joyriding.
No,
I
they
mean,
are not.
This is a person who doesn't even want to mow along a side of federal highway. Always got
Yeah.
a head on a swivel to see what's
Yes.
coming. So it's, safety
Yes.
is obviously a concern. They wouldn't be moving that if they didn't have to.
Right.
In order to do the crops and keep the
Last I checked, we didn't live in Nebraska where everything was square. So,
no, and there's also a little there's interest. No, we have the curviest roads and county lines in the world. I mean, you see some of those counties that are just laid off in grids
Yeah.
and squares, et cetera, and straight lines. Not here. Our boundaries are laid out weird. But I would also say that here's a little bit of a context clue that if you meet. What do you call the front of the combine that has the
head.
The head? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you meet a head being pulled on wheels behind you and it's not taking up a whole lot of the road, there's pretty good context that a big vehicle is coming behind it.
yeah. And I will also say, I'm going to do a PSA for my farmers here. Please try not to, because they're wide, and even though they're coming through, they will hit mailboxes.
Yes,
so
they will.
please be aware where you are parking, because if they have to get off of the road, try to, at least when they're getting off the road, they're not running into a mailbox. So just, use some caution. I know, I understand it's inconvenient, but we all have places to go. We all are trying to get where we're going.
It's a very short season. When it
is.
happens,
Compared to
and
what
so
we do, yes, it
that's
is.
exactly right. So it happens in the spring at a different level and
Yep.
has to happen in the fall as well. Nationally, the Supreme Court has granted an unusually quick hearing on President Trump's sweeping tariffs, putting a policy at the center of his economic agenda squarely before the nation's highest court. The justices will hear the case in November, which is a lightning fast timetable by the Supreme Court standards, and rule at some point after that. The tariffs will stay in place in the meantime. And that has ties to agriculture. It has ties to everything that we import, everything that we export, and trying to try and make the world economics go round. So the case involves two sets of import taxes specifically, but they will serve as a pilot case for the rest of the tariffs and the rest of the territories. Some of the biggest news today that is coming out of Washington is a decade-long slide in high schoolers' reading and math performance has persisted during the COVID-19 pandemic, with 12th graders' scores dropping to their lowest level in more than 20 years. That's according to results released yesterday on the nation's report card. 8th grade students also lost significant ground in science skills, according to the results from the National Assessment of Education Progress. Linda McMahon, who's the education secretary, says that the scores show why the Trump administration wants to give states more control of education spending to the point that they'd kind of like to abolish the Department of Education. Fewer students are showing basic proficiency in math and reading. The test scores show more students are not reaching what would be considered basic achievement across subject areas. And this is the first time that they have done these tests in some time, I guess even post-pandemic. But it is, by the way, this is not just local numbers, and it's not specifically local numbers. These are national numbers. This is the nation's report card that they're looking at. But it does bring up, again, we have known for a long time that this generation of COVID students are going to continue to struggle in certain ways because their development has been stunted. Then the same way, I believe, if you had stay-at-home parents during that time and you were a toddler or a youngster, in ways you probably got a different experience than you were going to get if the parents had gone to work, et cetera. Better, worse, I don't know, but certainly different. Now we've got a group of seniors in high school who were in the middle of, like, they were in middle school during COVID and trying to live through school shutdowns and e-learning and masks and all that. And then you've got a group of eighth graders who were third graders at the time,
Yes.
right as their education is getting started, and they're going, okay.
And I have a kindergarten, or mine was in kindergarten. I have a kindergartner and a third grader, and I'm going to have one that hasn't been involved in the pandemic. So I'm going to have a great litmus test.
Yes, you are.
You know, it's interesting. The rearview mirror is always crystal clear. Typically, you see it happening. Oh, well, this is what we should have done. And whether we got it right or whether we got it wrong, I think we're seeing cases where shutting down schools was the completely wrong idea. Because if you look in places like Florida where they didn't do it or they did it for shorter periods of time, then their numbers are faring just a little bit better. Their economies were faring better because they weren't shut down as long in what was called the free state of Florida. But I guess we will forever be able to look back. We'll be able to follow the data on many things going over the next few decades, and we'll be able to draw lines of struggles of things that are problematic that go back to that period of time that hopefully we learn some lessons on and say, well, if we're ever in that situation again, we at least know better how to react. Because the last time we had to go through it was 100 years ago.
Right.
So it's sad to hear about but is there a catch up? Is there a fix? Is there
I'm not sure.
How do we remedy it?
I'm not sure because the landscape has changed so much that I don't know that you can accurately, gauge it. I guess if I don't really know other than just your test scores before and after. But and I do think that like my eighth grader suffered through that and has come out. I mean, he's still doing well. I think his was more on the social side of it. I think you're seeing that as well as not just test scores. And then my kindergartner, who was a kindergartner at the time, I don't know. I'll be interested to see whether third grade or kindergarten was harder, more of a change for them, whether they, those basic skills, which we were lucky enough that her grandmother was a kindergarten teacher. So we kept on going,
Right.
Even though we didn't have actual in-school lesson, but it'll be interesting to see.
In athletics, especially in college athletics, we gave college athletes the opportunity to basically pick back up where they left off. Mm-hmm. We said, okay, if you were a sophomore, then for the next couple of seasons, you maintain. I mean, we've got Calzada at UK, who's in his 7th year of college football because of COVID.
Right.
He's like an old man. He's got an AARP card. So we did that with college athletics, but guess what? We didn't do that with just typical students.
Right.
We said, if you were a 4th grader and you basically missed 2 years of school, guess what? You're now a 6th grader. Good luck.
Yeah. So where is is your scale slotted or is your scale slid
Right.
are we still at a 4th grade learning, even though we're in 6th grade? I don't have the answers to that.
I don't know. And that's what I'm wondering is if some of this data that we're reading today, where we go, well, we shouldn't be surprised because we just kind of encouraged everyone along. We just said, well, okay.
Let's just get through this.
You might not be meeting the standard, but we can't hold everyone back. Like we can't have 4 times the normal. We can't have 4 times the number of 4th graders that we typically have because then everybody will just march forward at the same level. You can't lump everybody into
Yeah.
the same group, or there's no sense in having grades.
Well, and are we minding the gap? Are we?
That's right.
Yeah. And I don't know. And like I said, I'm sure that our school administrators, especially on the local level, are doing the best that they can to try to get. I know they're really pushing scores and getting back on track. So I think that locally we're in good shape, but you can't say that for everyone else.
Yeah, my guess is just that, well, what do you do? There's no
Yeah.
silver bullet. No,
No.
like nobody's got a plan that says, here's how we see our way through this. We're just kind of continuing to march forward with the asterisks beside these groups. And it's happening professionally too. It's not just, not only happening. The Grayson County High School FCCLA has bestowed the Ultimate Chapter Award, one of only 12 chapters around the nation to be honored for the 24-25 season. The designation is the highest honor that an FCCLA chapter can achieve. And the GCHS FCCLA is, again, as I mentioned, one of a dozen. So congratulations to them on their honors and being led by Cody Mooneyhan down at Grayson County High School, where they are having a tumultuous school year with what's going on at the Technology Center with all of the construction and the dust that's moving around. Morehead State's Vet Tech program has been named the AVTE Program of the Year. So congratulations to them. I guess I didn't realize that Morehead had a vet tech program. I know Murray State has just added one recently.
I think they're trying to get an actual veterinarian school.
Yeah,
so.
I believe you're right. And then the news yesterday came out that UK basketball is going to get a practice facility, which somebody in Fayetteville, Arkansas probably cussed yesterday over the idea, and it's being endorsed by Champions Blue LLC. It's the new board of governors that is kind of running the university and its new private-public partnership in trying to navigate the new waters of college athletics and academics. They have endorsed the pre-design and programming phases for a multi-use facility that could feature a dedicated Kentucky basketball practice facility. It would house UK healthcare, sports medicine, ambulatory spaces, and sports-related research areas. It would bring together UK athletics, UK healthcare, and university's academic enterprise in a dynamic development and collaboration.
Where are they going to put it?
Well, that's probably the most important question, or the question number one that people are having. It's probably not a question of do they need it, but it is probably a question of where do you put it?
Because all of the KHP or those sports, the physical therapy, all of that is either in the College of Education, or in the
Right.
health. It's at the hospital, or it was at the Johnson Center underneath the Johnson Center area. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of on campus where they would put it.
On Saturday, I was talking to Steve, who sits next to us at Kroger Field, and he and I are of similar age, but I was like pointing around at Kroger Field saying, I remember when that wasn't there, I remember when that wasn't there, I remember when none of those suites were there, the press box, et cetera. I said, now I do not remember clearly when Nutter wasn't there. Like Nutter was built around the time that
Yeah.
I started paying attention, so that facility's been there a long time. But down there in the football stadium area, they're talking about developing a sports adjacent entertainment district and restaurants and perhaps a hotel in these new waters of which, the restaurant community in Lexington is not very happy about because so now we're competing
I
with
don't
the
know.
university.
Once again, I don't know where you're going to put that either.
Yeah, but there seems to be more empty space on that end of campus than anywhere else. And it sounds like to me they may be taking the craft center and rededicating that to the UK women's program because it's adjacent to Memorial.
Right.
And then they may be taking basketball and moving it somewhere else on campus that might collaborate somehow in this big construction project that they're going to be doing. But
Well, I know what they want to do, but they,
Well,
our poor little College of Ag is in the middle of all of it.
Yeah.
And they're
Well,
trying to boot us out.
maybe you'll
but-
get a new home. I don't know.
Well, they're
Maybe-
already getting a partial new home, and then a lot of their things are moving out to the farm at Woodford County. So yeah, they're booting us out one hospital at a time, but it's with good reason. So I can't complain.
For those of you that don't understand the Fayetteville reference, one of the big points of contention between Mitch Barnhart and John Calipari was Cal basically just demanded that they were going to get a new practice facility. And Barnhart said, you've not done anything to warrant it. And Barnhart was right, by the way. But they do need one. And so they're going to get one to maintain their competitiveness and their elite level. It'll just be under the direction of Mark Pope instead. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Whitney Carmen is our guest co-host today. Things you might find in Mom's car. Coming up, you're on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
Expecting a baby or have a little one under a year old? Join us for the annual community baby shower, Thursday, September 11th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Center on Main in Litchfield. You'll meet local vendors and community partners, get expert answers to your parenting questions, enjoy door prizes, education, resources, and free goodies, all at no cost to you. Don't miss it, September 11th at the Center on Main from 5 to 7. Brought to you by your local health department, where we are working today for a healthier tomorrow.
I don't know about you, but I keep a list of all the loves of my life. There was the limited time $2.99 special edition gold snack wrap, then a refreshingly cool any size $2 McCafe iced coffee, and then crispy and golden small fries. And after that, juicy 4-piece chicken McNuggets. But the one that got away, a perfectly baked pumpkin and cream pie. Wait, it's back? And they're all on the under $3 menu? Mickey D's, here I come. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Today, successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart, 270-259-5604, GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education, close to home, at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start October 20th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
It's homecoming at Cougar Stadium this Friday night as Grayson County hosts the Butler County Bears. Butler County comes in undefeated at 3-0, while Grayson County is hungry to get back on track in front of the home crowd. Our coverage begins with a locker room show at 6:30 and kickoff at 7. Watch live on the K105 YouTube channel or listen on K105 and the K105 app. Celebrate homecoming with us. Cougar football is Friday nights on K105.
Apple has announced new iPhones, Apple Watches, and AirPods. Chris Coraggio fills us in.
Apple introduced 4 new iPhone models, including the newest version called the iPhone 17 Air, and prices for the entry-level phones start at $799. As for the new AirPods Pro 3, the product comes with improved audio quality and noise cancellation, while the 3 new Apple Watch models, called Series 11, include updated low-end SE and high-end Ultra models. Apple's iOS 26 will be available as a free software update as early as next Monday, and the latest product releases are set to hit store shelves on September 19th.
OpenAI says it is staying in California. The Wall Street Journal reported OpenAI was considering a move out of the Golden State under increasing scrutiny from the state's attorney general over the company's efforts to convert to for-profit status. And Google is adding 5 new languages to its AI mode. These include Hindi, Japanese, Korean, Indonesian, and Brazilian Portuguese. This comes after AI mode's English-only start in March. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is International Makeup Day. Yeah, don't start thinking Estee Lauder or Clinique or anything like that. This is a good day to see if you can maybe salvage an estranged relationship. That's what today is. Today is TV Dinner Day. On this date in 1953, Swanson changed the prepackaged meal business forever. You might recall they had an abundance of turkeys.
Yep.
And they said, what are we going to do with all these turkeys? And said, well, let's turn them into TV dinners, let's freeze them, send them out to the stores. And they did. And they don't, we haven't called them TV dinners for quite some time, but that still was their original name. And then today is National Hot Dog Day. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. If you have a kid or a grandkid,
Right,
you
know
surely
it.
know that. But do you know why? Do you know why that's such a prominent part of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? And they have the hot dog, hot diggity dog. Those are the first words spoken by Mickey Mouse in the cartoons. In The Carnival Kid in 1929, the first words, spoken by Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse ever uttered were hot dog. And so that's why.
Gonna be singing that for the rest of the day. Yep.
Well, I mean, if the grandkid shows up tomorrow, you're going to be
Tomorrow,
singing
I was
it
going to
anyway.
say, my
Just a day early.
My baby, was not huge on. It made me kind of sad because my other two were big on Mickey, and he's not. He's a Bluey,
He's just all in on
I
his no
noticed-
room
Yeah.
for anything other than Bluey.
Bluey and Monster Trucks.
I noticed that Taylor is kind of, I don't want to say pushing, but I think she is encouraging Mickey Mouse Clubhouse as opposed to Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
Now, we do watch Miss Rachel and we
Yeah.
do watch Bluey.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that Taylor, well, of course, worked at Disney.
Yeah,
Big
So as
he's got
a
some
Ray.
reasons.
Di-
Yeah,
Disney kid and a
I
cast
think she
member.
would rather hear that than, but I have picked up on that slight.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's just so much more content.
Yes.
I mean, there's just decades and decades of content. Over 7 billion hot dogs are eaten by Americans between Memorial Day and Labor Day. The term hot dog is credited to sports cartoonist Tad Dorgan at a baseball game in New York in 1901. Vendors began selling hot dachshund sausages in rolls, and so he called them hot dogs. And the most popular condiment for adults on hot dogs?
Mustard,
Mustard. For kids?
ketchup.
Ketchup, without a doubt. And I happen to like both. I guess that means I'm a kid at heart. I'm an old man who's a kid at heart. I don't know if that's what that means or not, but I will take it. Apple made big news yesterday. Several new things, but my biggest takeaway was the next generation of AirPods. AirPods 3 Pro have built-in AI, and they will translate on the fly. So if you're a traveler, this is going to be a game changer for you. When it's listening, you have it in the mode where it's listening and someone's speaking to you in a language you do not understand. It will be translating to you as you go. Now, I shared with her yesterday, I'm not sure how you reciprocate. Like if you need to speak back, I don't know if there's a tool for that, but it has shown you that AI, how far AI and then just general translation has come to package those things together. You can use the Google Translate to this time where you speak in here and then I read what it says and then I speak in there and then you read what it says. But to do it real time like that is going to be, I think, a significant game changer. So always exciting in the September Apple announcement. A new survey says that American support for capitalism has dropped to the lowest level since 2010. American approval of capitalism has fallen to its lowest point since tracking began in 2010. Only 54% of adults now view capitalism favorably, which is down 6 points from 2021. For the August survey shows Democrats and independents driving the decline, with both groups dropping 8 points over 2 years. For the first time, less than half of Democrats, 42%, view capitalism positively, while 51% of independents remain supportive. Republican support holds steady at 74%. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the increasing number of independents probably are skewing younger. You get younger people who can't decide. They think, well, both these parties are dumpster fires. I'm just going to choose something in the middle. And then your younger demographics are more likely to be Democrats. So that's one of the things that's driving those numbers down. And I would caution to the younger demographics. At its very core, if you enjoy freedoms, like the freedoms that our nation was founded upon, the freedoms that were expressed in the Declaration of Independence as afforded in our Constitution, I know of no other form than capitalism that would align with freedoms, right? The freedom to create prosperity for self if you're doing some altered version of capitalism or surely socialism, there's zero freedom involved with that. So I guess I'm a little puzzled on how we are lining up and going, yeah, capitalism, that's not so good. That's not really something we want to do. It is a head scratcher for me. Would you two ladies agree that being a mom is tough?
It has its moments.
Yes.
There are rewards to doing it.
Yes.
But it has challenges that, well, can be hard to face and hard to overcome. We're far enough into the school year now that we've settled in that the new has worn off the school year.
Yeah.
So now it feels like a chore. And, getting the outfits together and all that stuff. In the school pickup line, have you noticed, if you look around, kind of the head on a swivel a little bit, you'll see some moms just in the pickup line that look like empty shells of themselves.
Depending on the morning,
Like
you see me like that.
They've just been so beaten up, right? They've just been so worn down. They are as frazzled thinly. And so it looks like maybe they have just either or are considering just checking out. They're like, I'm out. Here are 11 things in a mom's car that show she has mentally checked out.
I'm interested to hear this.
Are you all going to be keeping a scorecard
Maybe.
on yourselves? A gas tank that's nearly empty.
Oh, nope. That is me this morning.
You do have a nearly
I
empty
do.
tank.
I've got to get gas before, or I won't make it back to Hardensburg.
This poor lady the other day, she was traveling a non-traditional path, and she was counting on a particular gas station being open to save her routing,
Yes.
only to find out that particular gas station was closed or out of gas.
All, I guess, out.
Out of gas.
All of the nozzles
Had gas,
had
or had
the
plastic
yellow
on it. Yeah.
thing on it.
And
I rarely, if ever, do this,
Right.
but yeah, it was a
And it's 15 miles home, but 12 miles to empty.
yes. And I'm the person who doesn't let the light come on. So he sends me a message. You don't have to drive that slow. Listen, I'm like not putting my foot on the gas pedal.
Well, and
it
so-
is so. And I had Brady.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, we've made it it's fun for us now to watch the gas mileage. We do contest on who can have the most gas mileage. So my husband's all the time like
Always easing it,
Yeah.
coasting down the
Coasting it.
hills.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
School flyers that she's never read.
it depends on if they're in the backpack or not. They're sitting there.
It's certainly if they're loose and not in the folder.
Yeah, and
you're
see, we
probably not
have
gonna
well,
find
but
them.
does Parent Square count? Because my phone has unread messages from just the
Yes.
updates and stuff. So if that counts, then yes,
That's just a digital flyer.
yes,
Is all that is. This says empty coffee cups.
I do that. I go out on a limb, you all. I'm really bad. I use a real coffee cup, not a mug. And my kids are like, "You're taking your life in your own hands every day, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's the only joy I have." I'm just kidding.
Is there something comforting about it to
Yes,
you to
it
have
is.
the actual,
The older I
cup.
get, the more like my dad I get, I guess.
But yeah, it bounces around though. You hit a bump, it
I
sloshes.
know it's like
on it.
I'm
Oh Lord, one day last week, I sneezed and spilled coffee on both of us.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't even drink coffee.
She was wearing coffee because
Hey.
I was like, well, that's why I don't
I
like
bet
to
you smell
sneeze.
good.
I don't like to sneeze when
I
I,
hate the
drive.
smell
Like,
of it.
oh, it's like-
Well,
Right?
mine is normally doesn't make it usually out very far because I drink it so quickly that it
And I
doesn't
had
matter.
on white and the lightest beige you could,
That's
you
funny.
could wear.
certainly not intentional.
No, it wasn't.
Old grocery lists.
Nope. My grocery lists are on my phone.
They are. Do you get rid of your grocery list when they're complete? Is that why you said nope?
I mean, there's one over here that I'm getting ready to put in the trash.
Okay. A mysterious odor that she can't get rid of. Like,
It depends. My vehicle isn't as bad as our running around vehicle that we use at home. It smells like a combination of boy and dirt and sweat and gym shoes. It just depends on what's in there for the day.
It smells
stinks.
like
Yes.
like youth.
Yes, it stinks.
Yeah.
It smells like a locker room.
It just smells like
Yeah.
youth in all of its various forms.
Ugh.
Takeout sauce packets.
Nope.
Kyle Carmen,
Does your husband resemble that remark?
just a little.
Sticky spots that nobody wants to touch.
Yes.
You get kids
I'm
back there.
sure.
And it's like,
At least they're on my mats. I don't know. They're not on my actual like carpet in my car, but they are on the mats. And I'm like, I don't know what that is.
broken phone chargers,
Yes. Actually, there's one in my back seat right now.
No.
stray crayons,
No, I don't have crayons.
expired coupons.
I don't use coupons.
Somewhere,
Not
somewhere
paper
in your
coupons.
console, that center console in there's got to be something in
Maybe.
there. There's got to be a
I need to
coupon
clean
in there
that
or something
out.
expired, or 4 expired proof of insurance cards.
Now that
Yeah,
I
it's gotta
have
be a
insurance
thing.
cards that are
Absolutely.
expired.
There's
Yes.
probably
Just-
more than 4.
Just
Yeah.
keep layering them in
Yes.
there.
Yep.
And stickers stuck to the windows.
No,
No.
but I have Sharpie on my window
That's
Oh, I have,
that I noticed over the weekend.
I have a bunch of like dog nose, dog.
I do
lick
that
on the
too. I
front.
had that too in handprint.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like having a taxi passenger back there. There's that invisible, like, what's going on back
So
there?
I am.
It's fine.
I am a checked out parent. Is that right?
We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Today's Did You Know? Coming up here on In the Know.
Want to connect your business with thousands of engaged local consumers in one unforgettable evening? Join us at Wine on the River Louisville on October 11th at the Belvedere, a premier tasting event where wine, food, music, and community come together. As a vendor or sponsor, you'll gain valuable exposure, build brand awareness, and create lasting impressions with a crowd that loves to support local. Ready to pour into something big? Visit wineontheriverlou.com to inquire today. That's wineontheriverlou.com.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather. Sunny today with highs in the 80s across the region. For tonight, mostly clear skies as we tumble down into the 50s and low 60s. For your Thursday, sunny, highs in the mid to upper 80s. We keep the warming trend going from Friday into the upcoming weekend. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know about 10% of people are left-handed?
I have several left-handed people in my family.
But 20% of people are left-footed. I would have always thought that if you're left-handed, you're left-footed. I can't imagine being right-handed and left-footed. Or left-handed and right-footed. I don't know if I am just automatically left-footed. I think I would be because I'm left-handed. But you can't spend any time in marching band and not be left-footed. Right? It's just what you lead with. You take off, your left foot moves first. You lead with your left foot, your left, your left, your left, right, left. So even if I had been right-footed, I would have probably been converted at some point because it just becomes second nature to you. But can you imagine being right-footed and left-handed?
My child, my Caroline is ambidextrous, so I don't know. Maybe she's right-handed, but she does a lot of, she's left eye dominant, does a lot of things, she favors her left hand.
So I guess what that percentage suggests then, it says that there are 10% of people then who are right-handed and left-footed, if 20% of people are left-footed. So about every 10 that you run into would be that way. So that strikes me as really odd. The MTV Video Music Award ratings jumped 42%. Well, yeah, they put it on CBS. I mean, it's if you hide it on MTV and VH1 and those areas, it just doesn't reach as many households. So you put it on the mothership of CBS, and it's gonna do pretty well. Also, probably didn't hurt to have LL Cool J as the host.
Right.
So
probably.
that makes really sense. So Lady Gaga got Artist of the Year, 3 additional honors, and on the heels of that, she has decided to extend her Mayhem Ball tour with new dates. None really close to us unless you count Atlanta. She'll be in Atlanta March 4th and 5th. She'll be in LA and Boston, and I don't know why she's bothering going to Boston. There's nothing
I knew
good
there
there.
was going to be some kind of remark for that one.
Speaking of award shows, I'm excited that Nate Bargatze is hosting the Emmy Awards on CBS on Sunday, and excited. He will just do, I just love his self-deprecating nature, but he will have a way of, I won't call it necessarily roasting, but he'll be able to have some fun with the nominees and their content, but basically using it as comparison and contrast to him being dumb. His new book is called Big Dumb Eyes, and I'm about halfway through it. It's really funny. I mean, if you like his humor, you'll like the writing because it translates to the page. But in one of the CBS promos that he's cut for it, he says, tune in to make sure that the actors feel special about the book, about the TV shows they make. Otherwise, we'll have to read books. That's really funny. If they quit making TV, we'll have to read books. But Sydney Sweeney, Stephen Colbert, and others, Mariska Hargitay, Tina Fey, Jenna Ortega, Sterling K. Brown are all going to be presenters. I think Elizabeth Banks is also in there, Jason Bateman, Kathy Bates, Jennifer Coolidge. She's good. Sarah Paulson, Sofia Vergara will also be part of the Emmy Awards. So back-to-back weekends with award shows for CBS. Song Sung Blue is a new movie that's coming out nationwide on Christmas Day. It's Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson, and they are a pair who forms a Neil Diamond tribute band. And then they, I guess, travel the country, and hilarity ensues. It's based on a true story. So
I'm sure I'll have to watch it because they'll do some Sweet Caroline.
Oh, without a doubt. They named it Song Sung Blue, so they're coming to America. Amityville Horror, new movie in that franchise is being planned.
Okay.
Y'all can have mine. I'm not interested. You can also have my tickets to The Conjuring. I don't want to see that at all either. But Amityville Horror goes all the way back to 1977. They did a remake in 20 years ago now that Ryan Reynolds was in.
Yes.
Which did, pretty well. So, but again, that's not really my genre. Charlie Sheen says that he has a new book out as well. And so he's been making the rounds. He's been on podcasts, etc. But he said his one do-over in life I'm going to go. He's got more than one. Would be not getting tattoos. He said it was a terrible, stupid decision. So he's saying it's his do-over would not be getting tattoos. He said, isn't the one that I'm supposed to say. He said, oh, yeah, tattoos. No, I mean, I'm sorry. I can't take a pill and make your tattoos disappear. No, that's such a bad, terrible, stupid decision. They could have been like little stick figures, really small, and like maybe, so he says tattoos are no good. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that of the tattooed, it later in life becomes one of the biggest regrets for those of you who overdo it. Now, you may do it minimally and get through life and just go, okay, well, I'm indifferent about whether that's there. But the people who go out and just cover themselves, I would like to do a study on them at age 60 and see the level of regret that comes along. Some people will never regret it, of course, but there are people that make those decisions in their 20s, and then they get to be a meemaw, and they kind of go, I don't know if this really looks like meemaw. So my guess is, will you do anything about it, or would you change your decision? But I do think there's probably a higher level of regret.
Well, and I think, too, it depends on what you're getting the tattoo for. If it is a meaningful thing, like
that's right.
Or if it's just something, it's artistic that you like. I think there's differences there. Yeah.
So, like, what if you go with no regrets?
Yeah.
Like if you,
right.
If you get
that is,
regrets right there across your neck, you think there's any regrets involved later?
Or the national championship cardinal tattoo.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'd say there have been more than one person make that mistake. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. MP's Points of Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, Chart Toppers, and more coming up here on In the Know.
Every couple has a Gordian knot. They have a problem in their marriage they can't untangle. My wife and I had a Gordian knot too. We had a hard time figuring out which of us was responsible for the kids when I got home from work. Jean would be exhausted at the end of a long day of chasing our 5-year-old and 3-year-old around. I'd step inside the door late in the afternoon, and she'd be right there saying, "Take 'em." That was her hello. I knew she was tired, but I had a long, grueling day of my own. We were both desperate for time to recharge, but we couldn't figure out how to solve the problem, the Gordian knot, to help each other. Your marriage's Gordian knot may be financial. It could be a sexual issue or wounds from your past. A lot of things can get your relationship all tangled up in disagreements and arguments. Whatever it is, let me encourage you with this. The Gordian knot is a myth. In ancient literature, the Gordian knot was unsolvable. That doesn't have to be true in your marriage or mine. There are usually more solutions to a problem than we first think. In my case, Jean suggested that I take 10-15 minutes after I get home to decompress and change my clothes. Then the kids were all mine. It was a simple solution to an otherwise persistent problem. Some problems are a lot more complicated. So are the solutions. As you approach disagreements in your marriage, be creative. It'll take both of you to untangle the knot. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Expecting a baby or have a little one under a year old? Join us for the annual community baby shower, Thursday, September 11th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Center on Main in Litchfield. You'll meet local vendors and community partners, get expert answers to your parenting questions, enjoy door prizes, education, resources, and free goodies, all at no cost to you. Don't miss it, September 11th at the Center on Main from 5 to 7. Brought to you by your local health department, where we are working today for a healthier tomorrow.
MB's point to ponder for today. If you had to delete all but 2 apps from your phone, which ones would you keep?
There's no way I can answer that.
My immediate question was, is the phone portion an app? Because you have to press a button like you press for the other app. So is the phone itself an app? Or is this assuming everything that comes with the iOS is safe?
Okay, well,
and these are
then
any
I
other
could
apps?
probably answer that.
Okay, so what would they be? Can I get a replacement? Can I give you the Apple Mail client app back and have the Gmail app as a replacement
see, I don't
from that
care.
suite? See, I
Yeah.
need to do that.
See, I was gonna say mine would
I
be
don't
like
care.
phone, and if it's not phone, it would be messages and my calendar. Like that's the 2 things that I have to have.
If we keep everything that comes, then mine would be Venmo and Monopoly.
Venmo and I was
Well,
wondering
Venmo
how
is
quickly
important.
Monopoly would come up.
Because I mean, the third, yeah.
So you
Venmo,
could say
Monopoly.
without, so no Facebook?
I need to get rid of Facebook anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you said my phone.
That's true. Yeah, makes it.
I
So
have
you're
other-
okay. All right, I see what you're coming up with. Well, that doesn't involve my iPad. It doesn't involve your computer, your laptop. You can
And,
still do it in different ways.
You know, your phone comes with Safari.
That's true. I wondered when I thought, what
okay, that was
communication, if I
thought.
had to settle, if I had to choose between email, iMessage, which would I choose? Like
Why
which
would you not throw away your email? It's terrible.
Well, but it's still, though, a core communication platform when you need it. Like there are some things that are not text message friendly. So from a productivity and just living life standpoint, I thought you know which one it feels natural to keep, but really in the end, if you got 6 months down the road and you made that decision, would you have regret and go, regret? Would you have regret and then say, I wish I had done it differently? And I don't know the answer to that. Maybe I ponder these things way too much.
Maybe.
Big Cats, the season 2 premiere on PBS tonight. Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service, the season 1 Fox finale tonight. Match Game is on ABC. It's the finale. Quarterfinal 4 results on America's Got Talent. And then on NBC, Downton Abbey celebrates the grand finale. The cast of the highly anticipated 3rd film celebrates the final chapter. They also share personal memories. You know, we're getting closer and closer to Wicked for Good that comes out in theaters in November. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1991, the Senate Judiciary Committee opened hearings on the nomination of Clarence Thomas to the U.S. Supreme Court. John Smith was elected president of the Jamestown Colony Council in Virginia this date in 1608. Elias Howe got his patent for the sewing machine this date in 1846. Birthdays today, Jose Feliciano is 80. Feliz Navidad to you. Bill O'Reilly is 76. Joe Perry is 75. Colin Firth is 65. Randy Johnson is 62. Guy Ritchie is 57. Misty Copeland is 43. And Joey Votto is 42 today. That is a pterodactyl that's flying around in here.
There's something.
It's in the back of my head now. I guess speculated it was a pterodactyl, and now that it's coming after me, I believe that's true. Gone but not forgotten. Robert Wise, who was the director of The Sound of Music and West Side Story, born in 1914. Big Clue, Ted Kluszewski, born in this date in 1924. Arnold Palmer in 1929. Charles Kuralt in 1934. And Roger Maris in 1934 as well. Chart toppers for today. Bing Crosby was number 1 with I'll Be Seeing You.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places.
So of course, Bing Crosby reminds me of Christmas, etc. Are you all ready for fall and like colder weather? Are you ready for the season change?
Not really.
I'm not. I don't know how it is. Sometimes I will be, and maybe I might be in 3
I'm
weeks.
enjoying the cooler weather, but I'm not ready for the cold
It just
and
leads to
the winter.
the rest that I absolutely despise.
You got to figure out the rest of this and that, and it's like crazy. Short days. A Dear John letter. Gene Shepard and Ferlin Husky in 53. Well, then don't.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you hate it so much, don't. Spare John. 1962. Ray Charles, You Don't Know Me.
You give your hand to me, and then you say hello, and I can hardly speak.
I bet that would stand up in top 20 albums of all time, across all genres. It was just a game changer when he decided to do something different outside his comfort zone. 1971, Aretha and Spanish Harlem. She's definitely a diva, and from one diva to another. Diana Ross, number 1 in 80. I said, upside down, you're turning me.
I said, upside down, you're turning me. You're giving love instinctively. Round and round.
So she was supposed to be the godmother of the new Royal Caribbean's Star of the Seas, and suddenly had to back out. Like something, I don't know if it's a health issue or what, but really hated to hear it. It was like 3 days before they were supposed to do the christening, and they said, Diana can't make it. So I remember who they got, but I can't think of it right now. 1989. Warrant, number 1. I always get them confused with Great White. Like I was thinking about, were they the ones that had the fire? Like the fire in the nightclubs? Like, no, that was Great White. That's not Warrant. 1998 from Armageddon. You look back on it, what a great cast in Armageddon.
Yes.
Between Billy Bob Thornton and
that whole album, their whole, the Armageddon.
Ben Affleck, Michael Clark Duncan.
Even the music was great. They had of course, they had ZZ Top, and they did a all good.
Yeah,
I had that album from the movie.
Did a great job. Let's go to 2007, Timbaland and Carrie Hilson. With apologies to my grammar teachers, The Way I Are.
I ain't got no money. I ain't got no car to take you on a date. I can't even buy you flowers, but together we can be the perfect soulmates.
In 2016, the Chainsmokers and Halsey were number 1 with Closer. Whitney, thanks for coming.
Yep.
See you again real soon. Enjoy a little break before you have to get super busy again. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, experience is one thing you can't get for nothing. Experience is one thing you can't get for nothing. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Whitney Carmen, for B, Jaime and B, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG Litchfield. The Twin Lakes Best Mix.